Hello guys, today I'm going to show you a little bit about gardening in Trove. This is my garden right here. This is the area for all the spring crops. I kind of placed down different parts of brown so it looks like it's tilled. Alright, so let's get into it. If you're just starting off, the fastest way of getting through all of these to unlock them is to make a bunch of the sponges. It's pretty cheap. You just make 50 of them and each one requires an additional 50. You just once again make it for the lava sponges and then make it for the plasma sponges, and then right here is where it's going to get more tricky. You don't have no more sponges to make, but I'd recommend, steed feed for first of all is like the high dollar. Everyone wants steed feed, so you could focus on doing that. But if you want to tear through the skills faster, go ahead and make the shady shrooms because it requires less bulbs. And you get the same amount, 10. So basically, once you get that, make 50 of those. Go down here and focus on making bottle seeds. As you can see, like majority of these require rich fertilizer, including all these items. So once again, you'll have to go back. It's kind of a process. Get the sponges, turn them into water blocks, and then you have to harvest this first. So make a whole bunch of rich fertilizer. You're gonna need a bunch of them. Then once you get that harvested, on a side note, as you can see, it says sprouts in 1 hour. That's an actual real life hour. It's not like a video game 1 minute, 1 hour. That's actual time of 1 hour. So it's a bit of a time consumer, but if you plant a whole bunch of them down, you'll be able to tear through the rest of these pretty quick. If you're planning on trying making some money off everything, you'll make majority of your money off steed feed, like I mentioned earlier. This is what everyone uses to make mounts and customize mounts. So I'd recommend focusing on farming as much of this as possible. As for selling range, the cheapest I've seen is 15 flux per steed feed. So it's a pretty good amount of money. It's definitely worth, the whole process of get water, make a whole bunch of rich fertilizer, and then get bulbs to make that. The other item I would say is a money maker. It would be bottled seeds. You can sell them for 5 a piece and guarantee them that they're going to be sold if you sell them for 5. But I'd stick with that. One thing I've noticed that people are messing up on, like my friends, for example, when they farm here, I'll have to tell them, tell them that, hey, you can't put that there. Example would be like the shady shrooms here. If you read the descriptions, it says plant in a dark place to grow. So you can't put it out here and out in the sun. This is a spring biome. It's the medieval highlands. This is where, if you want like sunlight and spring areas, some will say only grows in spring. That'll be like this kind of area. We're going to go over here and I'm going to show you. What they mean by a shade area is anything where like it's blocking the sun. So just have like a roof over your plants and that should be good enough. And then that's where the mushrooms will grow in the dark. There are a few items that are pretty specific where it says it requires light but not too much. You would simply just put in an area that has a few blocks open, but not in complete darkness. I'll go ahead and show you an example of that. I'm gonna head down here. This is where I make the majority of my stuff. I already harvested everything, but as you can see that there's a roof over it, so it's not getting too much light. You can plant them like about right here. There is some light coming in, but it's not direct straight up and down. That's like full light. If you have like one wall that's open, that's getting some light, which is exactly what they need. Those plants are pretty specific. Areas like way over here, this is plenty of dark. You can make mushrooms down here. Those are it's pretty much the basic of everything for farming, whether you're wanting to make money or if you're just wanting to tear through, get the skill levels. That's the fastest way of getting through all the levels, and a quick brief on what all is needed, and just mainly pay attention to the descriptions. Does it require to be in the spring area like this, or in the shade, or some require strictly in winter, which you'll have to have a permafrost biome. This over here is the Dragon Peaks. So once you get a few levels into it, about 150, 200, you'll come across seeds that say they need to be in like a hot area, which is Dragon Peaks, this area. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Thank you for watching.